When you begin to see couples keeping secret to themselves, it is a ripple effect of the lack of constant sex between the man and his wife. Because a man and a wife that have regular sex will not keep secret between themselves. Hello, you are welcome to my channel. My name is Blessing Ijechi. Today we want to talk about some of the effects, some of the negative effects of a home that the husband and wife do not have regular sex. If a man and his wife do not have steady and regular schedule of sex in the home, it goes a long way to have a ripple effect on the home. That can affect the children. It will affect the spiritual atmosphere of the home. It will also affect the relationship of the man and his wife. One of the consequences of not having a regular sex with your wife or with your husband is that the children that are born into that home are going to be unnecessarily stubborn. You may ask, how does it relate? When a man do not have sex with his wife, that man will not be happy. And that woman also will not be happy. When there is unhappiness in the home, as a matter of fact, unhappiness in the home is also one of the characteristics of the lack of sex in the home. When a woman is deprived of sex or a man is deprived of sex, there will be unnecessarily unhappiness in that particular home. And you know that a home that the man and the wife is not happy, that home can never be successful. So most of the breakage or divorces that we see today is as a result of lack of sexual relationship between a man and his wife. Now we are talking about the children. When a man and his wife is not happy, who are the children going to listen to? Who are the children going to learn from? When there is unhappiness in that home, there is going to be a spiritual atmosphere in that home that subject the children to the obedience of the enemy. A home that a man and his wife is not united as a result of unhappiness, those children in that home are susceptible to the attack of the enemies. And when an enemy attacks children, the children automatically become stubborn. So when you begin to trace the origin of the stubbornness of children, you will see that it can start or it can begin from negligence of sex between the husband and the wife in the home that that child is coming from. Number two ripple effect of the lack of sex in a home is the constant quarreling of a man and his wife. When there is lack of sex, or when you begin to see a husband and wife always quarreling every time, it is an indication that these people are not having the full dose. They do not have regular sex, or they do not have constant sex, because it will be impossible for a man and a woman that have constant sex to quarrel unnecessarily. We are not saying that there is no quarrel in marriage. Quarrel comes in marriage. But when there is unnecessary quarrel, people are angry in things that they are not supposed to be angry about. People begin to shout or begin to get offended at one spouse because of one thing or the other that they are not supposed to get offended with. You know that that is a sign, or it is a ripple effect of the deprivation of sex in that home. Another way that you can also know that there is lack of sex in a particular home is when a man begin to keep secret from his wife, and also the woman begin to keep secret from her husband. That is also a ripple effect of the lack of sex. A man and a woman that have regular sex are united. They work together. The Bible said, and the both of them were naked, and they were not ashamed of themselves. They were open. They were not ashamed of their secrets. They were not ashamed of their inner life. They do not have a private life from that of the home. When you get naked before your spouse, it shows your openness, it shows your sincerity. But a home that lack regular sex, the woman will have a secret of her own, while the man also will have a secret of his own. And that is the kind of home that a woman will have some properties elsewhere that the husband is not aware. Also, it is possible for that kind of man to have children, to have another home elsewhere that his wife is not aware. So when you begin to see couples keeping secret to themselves, it is a ripple effect of the lack of constant sex between the man and his wife. Because a man and a wife that have regular sex will not keep secret between themselves. Another effect that you are going to be seeing in a home that lack regular sex is the lack of communication. Sex brings about bonding. It brings about harmony. It brings about communion in the home. But when a man is far away from his wife, you know that there will be no communication. When there is no regular sex of meeting together between a man and his wife, those people will lack communication. And when there is no communication in a home between a man and his wife, that home is heading to the rock. There are two things that can easily destroy a marriage, and that is sex and communication. When there is no sex in a home, it is possible for that marriage to crash. When there is no communication between a husband and wife, that relationship can crash. The reason why there is a lot of divorce is because the couple are not communicating themselves. They could not really come to terms to really talk about their differences, to communicate, to really see the way they are feeling within them. When there is no communication, when there is no sex in a marriage, it will be almost impossible for that marriage to survive. Another thing that you are going to be seeing is selfishness of both couples. When couples do not have regular sex, they will be selfish to themselves. They will not be ready to make sacrifices for themselves. When a man is lacking sex, he will not want to sacrifice for his wife that he is not having sex with. A woman also, likewise, if she is not benefiting sexually from a man, she will not like to sacrifice for that man also. So both of them will want to do things that will only please themselves, not the unity of the home. And you see, the children in that home are going to suffer it because the man and his wife are not working together. And the last thing I want to mention here is cheating. A home that lacks regular sex will have unfaithfulness in that home. When a man begins to lack sex in his home, that man can go ahead to look for it elsewhere. It is also possible for a woman that is lacking sex in the home to go and look for it elsewhere. I do not encourage unfaithfulness of couples. That is the reason why I am encouraging you to begin to spice up your sex life, to begin to cultivate the habit of having regular sex with your partner. And when you do that, the Lord will bless you. Please, if you are new to this channel, I would like you to subscribe. And if you have been watching these videos and you are getting values, please subscribe and God bless you. Amen.